Welcome back to Season 2 of Sleepless in Dubai. My name is Julie Mallon. I'm a sleep consultant here in the Middle East. I'm also a corporate speaker, but most importantly, I'm the mother of 3 beautiful daughters. So we are live today from Baby Expo. Now, Baby Expo is the first of its kind, and it's a family event. And so if it's a little bit noisy, apologies, but it is so exciting. And now I'd like to hand you over to my co-presenter, Laura.
Yes, my name is Laura Barkwell. I'm an international event MC and broadcast journalist, and I'm a mother of 2, and we are absolutely delighted to be sitting down with Dr. Maria, who focuses on perimenopause and menopause, and also a holistic approach to women's health. A very warm welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So nice to be here. I'm really excited.
Good.
Thank you.
So I've given you a very brief introduction there. So tell us a little bit more about who you are, what you do, how you got into this field as well.
Yes, sure. So my name is Maria Karakoulaki. That's the difficult part. So I'm an OB-GYN. I studied in Germany, worked in Germany for many years, and also in Greece. And I was always very, very interested in hormones, how hormones affect the life of a woman from the very early stage, from child to menopause and postmenopause. So I studied then for 2 years. I did my master's degree in gynecological endocrinology, and this is how I got more involved into perimenopause, menopause, this exciting, challenging phase of women's life. Yes, and I'm here in Dubai. I'm working for 8 years. I don't do obstetrics anymore. I'm dedicated to menopause and also aesthetic gynecology.
So, go on. This is very much a topic that hasn't been spoken about, but it's actually quite a hot topic right now.
Yes.
People are finally coming out about it. A lot of people are having issues. They want to find solutions. What's the biggest misconception, do you think, when it comes to perimenopause and menopause?
The biggest misconception is that there is no solution for whatever symptom and whatever problem is there in this stage of their life. So good thing is, though, that lately, let's say the last maybe 5 years, this is a subject that it has opened up a lot. So more and more doctors will talk about, more and more patients are interested, and they will get educated by themselves, listening to podcasts, to experts, and get educated. So I would say we are in a good stage now, where women are more informed, and they will come and they will ask for help. And even if they don't know exactly what is the issue, they will come and ask, should I do something? How should I prevent things to happen? So, yes, I'm really happy for that.
I think, in terms of Laura asking about the misconceptions, it's also, I was surprised to recognize that the very first paper that was written was in 2017 in terms of menopause, published paper. 2017, what has the world been doing in that all these years? Menopause has been such a condition that is causing so much pain and so much discomfort. However, it's also how we need to change the narrative of menopause. If we look at when we first have our periods, there is such celebration. It's about entering womanhood. There's such celebration. Culturally, that's how it's celebrated. Then when we have a baby, again, it's like this wonderful transition. And then nobody talks about menopause. We don't talk about it. But like you said, it's finally changing. So we are beginning to change that narrative.
Yes. Yes, and very, very much so. Because you see now in Instagram, in social media, everywhere, it's all about nicely age, right?
Yeah.
You see very old women, like in their 80s, even in their 90s, and they celebrate life,
yes.
Right? And we say, I had a post now this week, age is power. It is power, isn't it? We are more experienced. We know what we want. We know what to ask from life. So we know how to avoid mistakes and so on. So I think we change. This is changing. And perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause is an age where will be embraced right now.
So I was reading something, and it was looking about how there is a new theory around women and the menopause. Because if you're looking from an evolutionary perspective, after we've had children, then what is our role? And there are certain papers that are truly exploring this thesis or concept that we now move into the best time of our lives as women. We are more focused. We are more cognizant of what we want from life. And we take on this advisory role to our grandchildren and to our parents.
You know, we become inspiration for others, right? And that's, for me, an amazing, amazing role. I was looking always for an inspiration, for a mentor in my life. Sometimes I would find someone, sometimes not. I would be frustrated. But it was so, so important for me. I remember myself, 14, 15, 20, 25, looking for, in different stages in my life, for mentors. And now we can do that to the younger generation. That's great, isn't it?
To be an inspiration is definitely something. But I wanted to get into HRT and some of the options out there, because you very much, as we mentioned, have this holistic approach. And there are lots of different things that you can do instead of going straight for the HRT. So tell us what the most common direction is and what your approach is and what your solutions are.
Yes. So look, it depends for what age we're talking about. Let's say, first of all, let's talk about the definition. What is perimenopause, what is premenopause, menopause, postmenopause, because many people have that very confused in their mind, right? So perimenopause is the period around the menopause. And this is where the symptoms start to come in our lives. And that can start as early as late 30s, right, or early 40s. The premenopause, the period before the menopause, can last up to 10 years or even more. So then we have the menopause, which means no periods whatsoever for 1 year. That's the definition of menopause. And after that year, we have the postmenopause. So when now a young woman will come, let's say in her late 30s or very early 40s, and she complains about issues like feeling very tired, maybe having brain fog, memory lapses, not sleeping well, then usually it's not the time to start with hormone replacement therapy. But when a woman, like in her late 40s or middle 40s onwards, comes with the same symptoms, then I will think about starting her HRT. However, it's very, very, very important, because we were talking before and saying that we have gone from one end, which was like HRT, no, will cause cancer, it's not a good thing, go away from hormones. We have gone to the other side, where we think that with HRT we can treat everything. So patients will come, they want to lose weight, they will come and they don't have any other issues, just they want to lose weight. They will come and say, I want HRT. They are depressive, I want HRT. They are fatigued, I want HRT. They cannot sleep well, I want HRT. It's not about that. I mean, it is because we are women, we are hormone driven, and our brain is full of estrogen receptors, and we work really with hormones. But it's not with estrogen. But it's not only estrogen. It's not only the sex hormones. It's also other things. It's the cortisol, which has to do a lot with stress and how we live, what our lifestyle is. It's melatonin. It's our circadian rhythm, how it is, how we live our lifestyle. It's very, very important. And it's equally important to take care and talk and address these things as the hormones. So our 50-50, really, or even many times, lifestyle is more important than the hormone.
Yeah. So now, and that is really important to look at it from an endocrine perspective. And, very often I will have clients contact me and say that they have been on, for example, they've been put on 10 milligrams of melatonin for sleeping before really exploring all the other avenues. Our lifestyle choices can have a huge impact on our sleep. And it's wanting to help people recognize that melatonin, as you say, it is a hormone, it impacts your endocrine system, but it's also about recognizing that the mitochondria, for example, which is the powerhouse for creating energy, mitochondria also produces melatonin, and that's not a very well-known fact. So it's about trying to help educate our clients and educate women where there are a number of things that they can do before they start looking at taking supplements. So in terms of menopause, what about, women's sleep? How do you approach that? What would be a guide, as a medical professional, how do you navigate their sleep when it comes to the menopause?
Yes. May I say something before we go to that? I think, it is. Sleep deprivation, it's an epidemic.
It is.
It's a huge problem for many stages in our life, and in menopause particularly, and I will tell you why. And it's the culture that and the society that we're living. And I want to say that when I was a young student, I remember a professor was telling me, I was telling him, I'm very busy and I have so much to study and blah, 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 and I cannot sleep. And he was like, and he was telling me, what do you need to sleep? You will be sleeping for your whole, you will be sleeping the whole time when you die, So, and that stayed with me. It stayed with me in my 20s and my 30s. And only when my body started talking to me and saying, you need to sleep, that was in my 40s, then I realized how important sleep is, and I started to appreciate. And then I educated also myself about what means to sleep well for your health.
Yeah. So I love that conversation in terms of, there is a university lecturer from Harvard, David Sinclair. Now, David Sinclair, he's written a book called Lifespan, and he is talking about our health and how the main ingredient of this is sleep. So it is so important to change how we're thinking about sleep.
So very quickly, we're going to cut to a commercial break, and we will be back soon with Dr. Maria.
Hervea's mission is to create sustainable, non-toxic sleep solutions that support healthier lives and a healthier planet. And so we've partnered with Nurtured Sleep to create the ultimate organic mattress for little dreamers. Made from certified organic latex, breathable, durable, non-toxic, and no off-gassing. With a soft, washable bamboo cover, it's easy for parents and safe for baby. Ultimately fully organic and available in 3 sizes. Visit hervea.ae to learn more.
And welcome back to Sleepless in Dubai. And so to continue, Doctor.
Yes. So coming back to your initial question about menopause and sleep problems and how I approach this problem, I would like to tell, first of all, why in the menopause women struggle with sleep.
Yes.
And first of all, sleep is one of the most common symptoms. It's more common than hot flashes and night sweats. So what happens in the menopause is that or perimenopause, you have less or you don't have any estrogen. And as we said, the brain is working with estrogen. The female brain needs estrogen. So it's full of estrogen receptors. The place of the female brain where we find the most estrogen receptors is the limbic system. So one part of the limbic system is the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus is the area of the brain which regulates many things, temperature, many things, and all of these things also sleep. So when we don't have estrogen, there is a dysregulation in the function of the hypothalamus, and this is why the sleep is getting disturbed. And then there are also other areas in the brain that, because of the lack of estrogen and also progesterone, that's also a very important hormone, they will affect our sleep. So that's one thing that affects sleep in the menopause. Then women in the perimenopause, let's say 40s, 50s, they are women in the peak of their life, let's say, right?
Yeah.
Peak of the career, peak of motherhood, peak of relationship, whatever. We are working 200%, right?
Yes.
So that means stress. And stress affects a lot our sleep. Why? Because when we have chronic stress, we have chronically increased cortisol. So cortisol, from one side, decreases the estrogen. So we have anyway less estrogen than other years in our life. We are also stressed. We have even more estrogen. But also cortisol will affect our melatonin, will decrease the melatonin. And the cortisol has to be, when you sit in 24 hours, it has to have a certain way of action. Peak in the
It's like a wave.
Exactly, it's like a wave in the midday, and then in order us to be able to sleep, we have to have low cortisol, we have to have high melatonin, and also maybe other hormones that we need to calm down and sleep. So if we are chronically stressed, our cortisol is high, even in the evening.
Yeah.
So we have to bring it back down.
Oh, and I do, work with my clients and explaining about how, with our nervous system, our central nervous system operates on two systems. And we have the parasympathetic and we have the sympathetic. And I truly believe there is nothing sympathetic about that sympathetic nervous system.
Yes, true.
And, as humans, the balance should be 90% we should be spending 90% in our parasympathetic, so our relaxed state. And that 10% is there just to keep us alive. So it's about recognizing that cortisol isn't bad. It's just when we have
It's too clear, because cortisol, you just immediately think, weight gain and stress and what it does to your body and stuff. Another thing I was actually going to ask you, I've, been listening to lots of podcasts and doing a bit of research as well. I'm 44, out the door in the words of Donald Trump. Anyway, so at that point, I haven't got any symptoms. I mean, it's just general parenting. I'm a bit tired, things like that. Obviously, I think the best thing to do probably is to go get your hormones checks and things like that. Is that the next sort of step if you have those symptoms? And also, I've been hearing a lot about testosterone levels in women as well, and how that actually has like a really big impact. Yes. So maybe you could tell us a little bit more, because I associate the testosterone levels of women, do you? Yeah.
Testosterone will get decreased, not that much as estrogen, but also there is a decline in testosterone as well. And testosterone is an amazing hormone which helps us being more energetic, being more focused. Is very good for the brain function as well. Help us with our muscles, right? When we exercise, but also when we don't exercise, it's very positive for our muscles. And we all know how important it is to have healthy muscles. Helps with bones as well. And the most important, or equally important, is the libido. It's the hormone for the libido, for the sex drive. So that's why women in that stage of life, they will come, and one of the very common symptoms is also loss of interest for sex, right?
Yeah, because I know quite a few women that have put these testosterone like pellets.
Pellets, yes.
Is that quite a common thing now, or is that the only way you can get testosterone levels up? Or?
Yeah, that's a very
we sleep, and that will bring your testosterone level up.
Really?
Yeah, as well. Because everything is getting regulated when you sleep well.
Right. Yeah.
Pellets. It's a very good way to take your hormones. It's a very easy way. You just put it inside. You don't care. You don't have to remember to take it, and so on. And you have a constant release of the hormone. However, here in Dubai, it's not.
They don't do it here.
Yeah, no.
Maybe they will do. Let's see how it.
Maybe.
You never know.
I was the first person who brought body identical hormones here in Dubai. That was almost 8 years ago, and I really had to struggle. I struggled a lot to put it in the hospitals. Now it's available in the hospital, but still it's not available in the pharmacies. You can find it in the gel, just the.
Maybe you'll be the one to bring the pellets.
Yeah, I'm working on that.
Your guinea pigs, if you like.
So yes, they work very nicely. But we have other options as well. Testosterone, we get it as a gel or as a cream, and actually we can make it. We compound it and we customize it for your needs.
What do you mean, like a gel? Like you put it on your skin?
Yes. Yeah. The best way to take your hormones, actually, any kind of hormone, is through the skin. Because the absorption is very good.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that is one of the advices that I would give to a client who is in the menopause, and it is to have something topical, because often that's all it needs. Yes, we do some lifestyle changes as well, but the combination of those two, it works really, really well. And they see a huge difference in their sleep. So,
of course, yes.
They do.
Yes, they do, because they get the estrogen that we are with. They get progesterone. Progesterone is a hormone that helps very, very much calms you down. Progesterone will increase also the serotonin, the hormone of happiness and kindness.
Yeah.
So progesterone helps very much with sleeping. So they see the difference just because of these two hormones. But then it's not only that. If you have issues with your cortisol, with your stress, this is where you will have really to do things and slow down and reduce your stress.
Yeah.
And this is where the lifestyle comes in.
Sadly, we've run out of time, but we just have this last question for you. What is your perfect lead up to the perfect night's sleep? Do you have like a routine to give you the best night's sleep?
Yes. First of all, the best night's sleep starts in the morning.
Yes.
When we wake up. Yes. This is where the best sleep starts. When we wake up, we have to go and see the light, the sunlight. Even if it's a rainy day or here in Dubai.
Music to my ear.
Yes. We have to go and see that, because that's a signal for our brain to regulate the rhythm that we need. Our brain needs a rhythm. So this is how it starts. Then during the day, if you exercise, it's better to exercise in the morning or not very late in the evening. And then the bedtime routine, it's very important. First of all, don't eat before you go to bed. That will not help you sleep well. Eat at least 2 hours before you go to bed, at least. Then at least for 1 hour before you go to bed, before you go to sleep, don't be on a screen, TV, the mobile, whatever. Don't take your mobile into the bedroom, or if you take it into the bedroom,
You're going to join my team. You're going to join my team.
Yes, please.
We can So don't take your mobile into your bedroom. What else? What else do you do?
Then depends now how your life is and how much time you have for your routine. But maybe a hot bath would help. Maybe a massage. Read something in a physical book. Dim the lights at least 1 hour before you go to bed. Dim the lights. And if you have to see on the screen on your phone, put filter. There are filters that block the blue light. So those are some things that are coming now in my mind as the main sleep routine.
Yes.
And I would say you know that better. Kids, babies, they need a routine.
Absolutely.
Right? We need a routine as well. Adults, exactly the same.
Yes, we do. We need to reset that GPS every night. That's what we need to do. So
exactly.
Thank you so much. This has been a really enlightening conversation.
You're very
thoroughly enjoying it.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy. And I'm looking forward to work with you.
Yes,
for my menopausal women.
Yes.
We all need you.
Yeah. Me too. So just to say a huge thank you, and please be aware, sleep is not a luxury. It's a biological necessity. We all need sleep. And in order to be the best version of ourselves, please get some sleep. This is your superpower, and thank you.